Can anyone run us through like the process? Let's say Levi Cole's injury. We don't know. He's come back after, let's say, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. What will he be doing?
It depends on the severity. We don't know the severity of Levi Cole's ACL right now. It depends. The doctors will have to assess. They have to do scanning, X-ray, and MRI to check whether it is stretched or the ligament has torn. I don't know if you have the doctor's report here.
I'll call them.
So after the doctor's report,
I have to call them.
If it goes further into, let's say, a complete tear, then there's definitely going to be a bit of a surgical repair where they'll harvest a tendon or a ligament from another site in the body to the knee. But usually when that happens, they have to give it a time for the ligaments to heal.
If they just fix the ligament or repair the ligament, we can't move the leg at that stage. So after it healing, of course, there'll be some, because the person hasn't moved their leg for a while, there'll be some maybe mobilization or their gait to be. So gait is how people walk.
It would start slowly, then eventually you get more heavy as it moves on. From small exercises, and we'll be building up onto exercises that are related to playing football.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are back. Welcome to Prrrr. My name is Ajo, and today we get special show to give you guys because a lot of injuries are happening in football. But you guys know, say Kelvin be tactician and also Barca fan, but he be doctor. Yeah, maybe he not tell you guys about me. I won't tell you guys. Then he bring this nice idea so that we can educate you guys about injuries. Why people they go injured, they keep before they come back, like the pros and cons of this long-term injuries and everything. Dr. Kelvin, he's a physiotherapist. All right? So you're a physio.
Student.
Level what?
300.
Where your GP? You did GP what? Oh, I mean, I never ask you. Every day they ask you about the content that won't ask you the GP dying.
Oh, I'm good.
No, that good is the same. That good is not GP. They get first class or upper. Because look at the, I'm not going to give you permanent EU contract. But anyways, you see, I want to like introduce your guests. They can educate you about everything. So at the co-host plus you, is your content. You have to flow, but for day inside and learn. Because I see my boy go is your Levi Cole. I don't know when he's returning. The setbacks after going for that kind of injury, I'm always scared for them. Rodri, setback happen. But more things, the more injuries, the way you guys will like explain to us. But big man, what be your name?
All right, so I'm Elike McMahon.
Oh, we get Elike on for here.
Elike McMahon is matured.
It's the same level.
Yeah. No, I'm 400.
You look shark from my face though.
Yeah, I beg you.
Because doctors there, look on the you campus.
Yeah, Kolibu actually.
Oh, okay. Charlie, thanks for coming. More education for the people today.
Of course.
Hi.
Of course.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
I'm Precious Adediji.
Precious?
Yeah.
Okay. Precious tree. Okay, thanks for coming. Yeah.
Thank you.
More education for the people today, right?
Yeah.
All right. Big man.
That was.
Are you the work Barca fan from office?
No, be Barca fan.
Why are you shaking your head?
You Real Madrid fan.
What your name?
Kelvin, sir.
Okay, then pick the two of you. I get a telepathy. But Madrid.
Yes, Madrid.
And Barca. And I'm going to walk last, Papa. Charlie, walk out.
Thank you, sir.
All right, nice one. Kelvin, take over.
These are physiotherapy students, right?
Okay.
We are here to advocate as well as educate, right? On why Ghana in particular, we need physiotherapists in our football clubs, in grassroots football.
Guess and make her ask you fast.
They no get.
Okay, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. So we are trying to advocate and also educate on how, when a footballer goes on injury, how the physiotherapist is involved in that injury process. They play a key role more than the medical doctor. You understand? Because without the physio, the player cannot return. Okay. If football clubs do not have physiotherapists in their clubs, they only send their players to hospital to be treated. And there's high chance of player getting injured in Ghana football. Not to talk of the European side, you understand?
Yeah.
So these are physiotherapy students, and we'll be asking them questions on how the physiotherapy is involved. And also it happens to be a Physio Fest, which is a week dedicated for University of Ghana physiotherapy students. Yes.
This week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So they are here to advocate and also share more light on these things. So there's a team that allow Kelvin to run. Yes.
But first of all, I want to get what is it all about? Like, if somebody hears physio,
Yeah.
people think it's just about massage. I want Precious to answer this for us. What is it all about? Like physiotherapy, I'm a physiotherapist. What does it entail?
Okay, so physiotherapy is a healthcare profession, right? And it focuses on movement, biomechanics, to optimize performance in sports, looking at sports,
Okay.
to optimize performance, to treat injuries. But then people think it's just massage. We use evidence-based techniques
Okay.
to optimize performance, to heal injuries, and to improve movement. So people say that we are like movement doctors because we focus on the movement. We focus on the movement of people. So it's not just massaging.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that is just, I can go a whole week of treating patients without massaging or even more, because that's not what we focus on. Our focus is on the movement. And looking at the sports side, I will say that the physiotherapist or the sports physiotherapist is like the mechanic for the athletes, because they are focusing on performance and fixing their injuries too. So it's not just about them getting better after an injury, but also them playing at their peak levels. Yes.
But so it means the joints, you focus on the joints more, like
Yeah. Focus mostly on the joint. And also to add to what she was saying, one of the major things people leave out in healthcare basically is the preventive side. Physiotherapists take an active role in preventing most injuries. So looking at it from that perspective, we are basically like essential in almost from the very start of the season to the very end of the season. Is that okay? In all aspects of the athlete's life. So physiotherapy is broad, and moving away a bit from sports, coming to general life, physiotherapy is also more of rehabilitative studies or rehabilitative healthcare. Right? We treat stroke patients, we treat musculoskeletal injuries.
Please come again.
Musculoskeletal injuries. Musculoskeletal injuries. Yes. Musculoskeletal, we treat variety of diseases. Is that okay? Yeah.
Come.
Okay, so I want to bring up a scenario, right? So Fatau Ishahaku of Leicester City, he got injured recently, and the injury he had was an ACL, right? We know he went to the hospital.
The full name of ACL, so there are people who don't know.
So the full meaning of ACL is anterior cruciate ligament. So it's found in your knee.
In the knee.
Yes, so there are ligaments, so the knee joint, there are ligaments over there, there's tendons over there, there are muscles all that connects to your knee, right? So if there can be a tear, there can be an overstretch of muscles over there, which can cause an injury, especially even the ankle. So Nima, for example, usually gets injury at his ankle. You understand? So it's ankle sprain. Sometimes it could be a tear, it could be an overstretch.
So at what point do you need surgery?
At what point? Yeah, so it's the severity of the injury. So it's the physiotherapist that will assess the severity of
Not the doctor.
Not the doctor. They'll report to the hospital first. Obviously, you have to go to the doctor. If you are injured, you have to go to the doctor. But the doctor will refer to the physiotherapist. So when he gets to the physiotherapist will then assess the injury and try to manage and then rehabilitate the patient, right?
Okay.
So like I was saying, Fatau Ishahaku of Leicester City, right? He had an ACL injury. We've already mentioned what an ACL is, right? So I want you to tell us how a physiotherapist will be involved in the treatment of Fatau Ishahaku, who has an ACL injury.
Okay. All right. So I would like to explain a bit further into how ACLs occur.
Okay.
So like you was saying, ACL stands for anterior cruciate ligaments. And in the human body, ligaments are connective tissues that holds two joints together. So when you see in the hand like this, for example, there's a bone at the upper part, right? And then there's a bone at this side. So we have the upper arm and then we have the forearm. Now these two bones connect to form a joint. And usually it's ligaments that holds the two joints together. At the knee joint, there's this same ligament called the anterior cruciate ligament. Now this ligament is there to prevent excessive forward movement of the knee with respect to the thigh bone.
Okay.
So God in his own wisdom has allowed a degree of movement of the leg bone, which we call the shin bone, to move a bit forward from the femur, or what we call the thigh bone.
Okay.
Now when there's excessive movement beyond the allowed range, and then it leads to, let's say, an overstretch or a tear of the ligaments, that's when we call it an anterior cruciate ligament tear. Now, usually this occurs due to poor movement techniques in football. Sometimes when a player is running and they come to a sudden stop, it can put that pressure on the ligaments and then it will result in an overstretch. Sometimes when they are moving and then they make a quick change in direction, it can also occur. Or sometimes even when they jump and they land and they don't land well, it can happen in that way. So like he said, when a patient has an ACL and they come to the hospital, definitely we have people who diagnose it with x-rays and other things, and they will be able to tell us, let's say, the severity of the condition. Is it just an overstretch, or is it just a partial tear, or is it a complete tear? So based on that, we do our assessment. Now, one thing is, before a physiotherapist will ever treat anyone, they will always assess and know exactly what's wrong with the person. That's how we are a bit different from, let's say, masseurs. Because there's this misconception about physios being only massage people. We only do massage. But the thing is that
you go to the spa, just massage.
exactly. So people think that those are the spas that are all physios. But the thing is that the masseurs, they are more focused on relaxing you,
the muscles,
pain relief, relaxing, and then they are just doing that through massage. But like she said, we can go a whole week without doing massage because that's not mainly our focus. It's just a bit of our rehab strategies. So with the ACL like this, usually it depends on if it's an ACL injury that requires surgical procedure or one that does not require surgical procedure, and then they have different recovery timelines. So usually if it's one that does not require surgical procedure, the recovery is usually between 3 to 6 months. And if it's one that requires surgical procedure, it's usually within 6 to 9 months.
So Fatah's almost required surgery. There was a tear.
Yeah.
So he
But
did
let me ask you, you are into football. I don't know about the rest of them. What causes the ACL? Because sometimes don't touch the player and he's just off.
Yes.
What causes it for like?
It could be a build-up, like he said, when there's shear force that's stretching the ligaments at the place. It could be a build-up. So if you are stressing the particular ligament severally, you are not doing anything about it. You're not. If you are feeling pain, usually the players, when they feel pain over there, they feel it's mild, so they don't have to report to the hospital. You understand? So if there's a build-up, you do. So when it comes on the pitch, right, and maybe he's doing warm-up, some small force can cause the ACL. You understand?
So bad warm-up can cause ACL.
What?
Bad warm-up can cause ACL.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
There's something they call overuse injury. So if you have a rubber tie, if you're always stretching it, I'm sure the girls can relate. Maybe you're always tying your hair with one tie. I guess the point, it's flat, right? So the same for if you are not using, if it's an overuse injury, so they are using it, it's getting overstretched. And players, like there's so much energy, they just want to play, like honestly, they just want to play. So they might feel pain, they might feel a bit of instability, but they just feel like, it's going to go away. But then over time, it's going to build up and become one big injury. So sometimes that's when you have cases where the person didn't do anything vigorous, but then there's a huge injury. So it can be from like build up. So it's an overuse injury.
Okay.
And also to add to what everybody's saying, we can also move away from the fact that ACL can also be caused by trauma. I don't know if you remember Armando Broja.
Trauma.
Yes.
Wow.
Armando Broja's injury. The one he shouted on exactly. That was direct trauma to his knee.
How?
Because he clashed with the player.
No, it was not mental trauma, like physical trauma.
Physical trauma, yes. Physical trauma. Physical trauma. There was a physical impact. Yes, there was physical impact directly to the knee. We took the knee, let's say, behind where the hip, the thigh is supposed to be. So sort of back like that, exactly. And that could also lead to a tear of the ligament. So it's all of these and more things coming together.
So Ajo, can you see we've said football cannot exist without injuries. Players go on injuries, right? So now with what they've said, do you think the club needs a physiotherapist more, or they need a medical doctor more?
Are you guys doctors?
We are not medical doctors. We are in the health field. We do physiotherapy.
So I can't call you Dr. Kelvin.
No.
Why?
You can be a doctor of physiotherapist.
Okay.
Yeah, you take a doctorate degree.
But in Ghana, do we have that? Do they patronize the Ghanaian clubs?
So that's what I'm trying to lead to now. So do you think if you are the importance of having a physiotherapist and the importance of having a medical doctor, right? Don't you think we need a physiotherapist more in our local clubs?
Yeah, we do. All the clubs in Europe, they have. They take it serious.
Big clubs in Ghana do not have it.
I'm not surprised, Kelvin.
Yes. From our investigation,
get.
From our investigation, House of Folk does not have a qualified physiotherapist.
How? Who are?
So all the I'm sure it's 80 clubs. They don't have.
You did your checks, you know.
They don't have.
If they come for you, I won't say no.
They don't have. Maybe they'll say because my dad is a Hasselhoff fan, so I'm trying to go against them. Nah, they don't have a qualified physio. Even if they have, it's like some of them use gym instructors. They think the gym instructors can help them do the warm-ups. And so if the gym instructor is helping you do the warm-up before the match, why should I go and hire a physiotherapist to do that for me?
Okay.
You understand? So that's why the clubs are not getting it. But it will shock you to know that CAF regulations, according to CAF regulations, right, it is compulsory to have at least a medical doctor in every club. But the regulations does not mandate for every club of the association to have a physiotherapist on board. Can you imagine that? But when you go to European football, UEFA insists that in Article 40 that Article 40 is dedicated for physiotherapy. You understand? So every club in the European Association must have a physiotherapist attached to the medical team. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you're a club in Ghana, you want to go to Africa, you want to go and play Club World Cup, you don't have a physiotherapist. It's very shameful.
They don't make you go. They can't see you people. What are you guys doing? What you guys should start like promoting yourselves to get to that level.
That's what we are trying to advocate. This is the platform we are using to advocate that. Yeah. And fortunately, we have a CAF president, a Ghana Association president, who is now the second vice president of CAF in the person of Ket Okreku. Yes. So Ket Okreku is the second vice president of CAF. His team, Dreams FC, they went to the semi-final of the CAF Champions League with just one physiotherapist. You understand? But other clubs do not have. So in his position, he can also advocate for more physiotherapists in the local football club because it's really needed. There's even a debate we are going to have sometime in this week that as the coaches in football, are they as important as physiotherapists? And I think they are. You understand? So they must have a physiotherapist. But there's a case where they don't have physiotherapists in the local class. And if you have a physiotherapist, you can avoid the injuries they've been sending to hospital. When I go for hospital rotations, I see a lot of football players. I see some player he be Dreams FC player. He go.
You see what do him? You see what do him?
It be like he get, be ACL. He get one of some injury for his knee. He not really.
Imagine Ghana player pan we get ACL. You forgo search new job.
Yeah, that go. So now imagine if a Ghana player he get fracture. You understand? That one he go chair because you for wait make the bone heal. You understand? And the muscles and everything, the soft tissues have to adapt to that injury. So a player, as I talk, the player he left Dreams FC go team for Spain. He go injure for there. Then pull him come Ghana say make he can't do this one. But Dreams FC no get physiotherapist give him. He come 37 they do in rehabilitation before he go travel go back. So that's why we are here to advocate for every club in the local scene to have a
Division 1, Division 2.
Yes,
the Premier League is very important. Get for take this thing very important.
You will take them very serious. So, Kelvin. So yesterday we had Nathaniel Atto, right? He's media general personality, multimedia. He's also one of the persons that have been with the national teams, the Black Queens and also the Black Stars, whenever they are traveling. He has information on every person that's recruited to the team that went to Qatar. I think the 2014 and Brazil too. He has information. We spoke to him about all these things that we're talking about. I'd like Kelvin to tell us what he said on the conference, what we did yesterday.
Okay. Right. Before I bring my questions on board. Kelvin, let's hear from you.
Okay, so basically yesterday we were trying to get Nathaniel Atto's perspective on the importance of physios in the sports industry. And it will shock you to know that the kind of preparation and investments that people in the European world put into physiotherapy, if you compare that to what we are doing here in Ghana, it's nothing that we can be encouraged about. And then the thing is that we here in Ghana, we expect to perform at elite levels, right? We expect to go to the World Cup and win.
Possibly.
We expect to go to the African Cup.
Okay, it's possible. Yeah.
We expect to go to the African Cup and win. Yet we don't even see the relevance of physios on the sports team. Now they made examples yesterday that Arsenal has about 6 physios on their team.
Arsenal has 4, Chelsea has 6.
Has 4, Chelsea, but
Chelsea has 6.
6 physiotherapists.
Yes.
Physiotherapists.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they actually invest into it. But here comes the case where in Ghana, a whole football club will not even have one single physiotherapy. on the team. And then the issue all stems from, is it because of costs? Or is it because they don't know the relevance?
Are you guys that expensive? You can
Yeah,
go
we
charge
are meant-
10K. You are no. You haven't finished now.
I
10K.
don't think it's about being expensive.
Okay.
I feel like in Ghana or in this part of the world, everybody is just always looking for, a lot of people, let me say that we are always looking for the cheaper option. I noticed that, I like excellent things. I like things being very good. So when you're going for quality, people are looking for the cheaper option.
Like, yeah,
and that's the
happens
mindset that people have grown up with.
in
So
this country, yeah.
even if people that have money, their club might have money, but they'll tell you that we can't pay. How much are you asking for? They can't pay. So it's not just about, okay, we are talking for ourselves, but then they also have to understand the importance, because I feel like if you want to go in and want to be the best, then you should be thinking of putting your best in it as well. And that includes your time, your money, your everything. So I don't think we're expensive. So I think
Madam, Ghana, wanna pack safe. Ghana pack safe.
Yeah.
Paying players safe. But one day you guys will get there. That's why you guys for be like outspoken right now for me. I'm happy with this initiative. Yeah. When you guys allow people like, people have money, Karela and co, dreams.
Yeah, it happens that
yeah,
Karela
so
has
I think Karela get.
Yes, so we go
Next
information.
thing, they go win league.
Karela, them they actually have a team of physiotherapists.
Right.
Them Wafa, them get Accra Lions, then get. So all those small clubs that are very serious about the football, they do have. So Accra Lions, you can't have Lothar Matthäus as your
director,
part owner
yeah.
and not have a physiotherapist on board, as I've said. But other clubs like Accra Asofuk, I keep mentioning, Kotoko,
they
don't
don't get.
have.
I mean, go tech, buy the same course at tech,
Yes,
right? You
yes.
can go there, hire some of the students. As in the
Some
learn, they
students
help you.
can also do internship over there at
exactly.
class. So even if you can't pay them, internship is the government that's paying them.
Yeah.
So you can hire them. Every year you get interns. Every year you get interns. So why are you not allowing physiotherapists to come
The
into your club?
education is important. Maybe
Yeah.
from now was they will try. But can we talk about hamstring injuries more?
Okay.
Because our football viewers, they know ACL. And their second favorite is hamstring. They want to know more about. Can you anybody educate us on the hamstrings? What causes it, like how it comes about and stuff like that? Hamstring injuries.
All right, so first of all, usually before we can get into the nitty-bit of the hamstring injury, we need to identify what hamstrings we are talking about. So the hamstrings are three muscles, okay? Yes. Three muscles combined giving us the hamstrings. There's no point in mentioning their names.
Oh, try. Let's go.
Well, okay, so they have the semi-membranous muscle.
Come again. Semi-membranous.
Yes.
You hear him? Go check him.
The semi-tendinosus muscle.
Semi-ted. Okay.
Yes.
So they come if they learn, for example, semi-ted, Hey, no go on.
All right, so at the end, all these are muscles, okay? For muscular injuries, they occur in various forms. Either you have a strain where it's being stretched too much, or you have a cramp, or you can also have a tear, a complete tear of the muscle, which is like the worst form of injuries you can think about. Sometimes you get some normal inflammation. Exactly. So most hamstring injuries occur as a result of strains or tears of the muscle. Is that okay? Yeah. And then, given that this is mostly due to overstretching or overuse, for example, and also overstretching. I remember one clear example I remember was, I think in the 2008 AFCON, John Pence was quite old. Yeah, it was a last minute stride, and then he was. I think that was the first time I had like first time experience with muscular hamstring injury, and then all you could hear was the shout and then the holding of the hamstring. Yes, and from what I read, it was a complete tear then. Exactly, and then when that happens, it's just because he overstretched the muscle beyond its limits.
And,
is that okay?
Not to cut you see, there's also images where footballers hold the back of their thighs, so that's where the hamstring is located.
Yeah.
So you've seen Granit Xhaka, they do celebrations if they
stop. Yeah,
that side. So that's where the hamstring is. When a footballer gets a hamstring injury, you see them holding that side. You get it. And you're also seeing overstretching. Sometimes when you don't warm up well, it can also lead to a hamstring injury. So the severity will tell us whether the person will come after 6 weeks, after months, or whatever. Can continue.
And then also moving on from the strain, we also have cramps, movement muscle pull.
Yes.
Exactly. So usually that happens as a result of dehydration right? Because the muscles also need water to be able to. But most of the times, because of dehydration, you can get cramps because not enough blood is flowing to that particular part.
Okay.
Is that okay? Then there will be loss of. Let me not go inside the sciences. Let's keep it simple. All right. So the muscle will get enough oxygen to burn energy. Is that okay? And that leads to the cramps. And also sometimes you have inflammation from direct hits. All right. In football is a very rough game.
Yeah.
Is that okay? And then with movement, somebody will hit, and then there's an inflammation. There's swelling over the place. Is that okay? That can also, exacerbate into a major hamstring injury that could leave somebody.
So how do you guys treat that?
So we
Quick
have
recovery for a hamstring player.
so we have various strategies we use in handling all the problems or all conditions. And always the very first thing we start with is an assessment. A thorough assessment to identify will tell us what is lacking, what is enough, what to do and what not to do. Is that okay? So, and one thing that also separates us, I wanted to chip that in. One that separates us from the rest of them, the masseurs, the other people, what we do is actually scientifically backed.
Okay.
Is that okay? Unlike you go to the herbalist, but some green stuff, you drink, you go. Is that okay? And what we are doing is proved. It's something that has been researched several times, something that have worked for other people. So that's why we continuously add evidence-based practice to our way, because we want to do what people have done before and it has worked. That's what we want to use. Is that okay? So most of the strategies, they are various depending on what type of injury the player has and what are the player's needs at that point in time. Is that okay?
And just to add, there's one in a sports team, one thing they do, mostly physiotherapists are involved in, is pre-season assessments, right? So we do assessments, but then in a sports team, there has to be pre-season assessments because everybody is different. No matter how good they are in football, maybe the person is not as flexible as another person. That's how come someone might stretch and get might just move the same way someone moved and stretch a muscle, right? So before the season starts, or about 6 weeks before the season starts, they do a pre-assessment. They check their reaction time, they check their flexibility and everything, so that we have a baseline for each athlete. So if this happens, I know that, okay, this is what caused it, because the person was lacking at this side. So even if there's no injury, we don't just look at injuries. That's what a lot of people think. We're not just injury prevention. They don't come to us after injuries. We are proactive people too. We look at the optimization part. We are optimizing performance. So we know that, okay, after our pre-season assessment, this is where this person needs to work on. This is what we have to do. So in the season, we are working on all of that, and that's how we go. So if something goes wrong, we can refer back to that assessment and say that, okay, there was something lacking here. This was bound to happen. Something like that. Yes.
Black Stars Physio. Very soon. You like football?
I like football, but right now I'm thinking I'm going to volleyball.
Think about volleyball?
Yeah.
Why? Because of the women?
No. I just think it's an interesting sport.
Well, what team do you support?
What team in volleyball?
No, in football.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh, Charlie, Kelvin. Monday. I hope you score Crystal Palace. She go do the review inside.
I'll go bring her.
Charlie, continue.
Okay, so I think we've spoken about everything we wanted to see,
I
but
think, yes.
I like Kelvin. He's actually the president of the Physiotherapy Association for Legon.
Oh, okay.
So the students. So I would like him to give us his closing notes then.
And let's convince these clubs why they need physios. I think it's a very, very good initiative. Yeah.
Okay, so your closing remarks.
So I'll use this opportunity to mention the theme of our week celebration for this year. The theme is Supports the Game, redefining the scope of physiotherapy in sports. Now, the reason why we are saying you should support the game is that, first of all, in Ghana, sports is something that we hold dear, especially for football. Football is the most popular sport in Ghana. Now, sports development does not only happen at the highest level. It begins from a point, right from the grassroots. And if you can bear me some witness, you see people actively in sports, right from JHS, where they are having inter-schools. Then they move to SHS, they are having interzonals and interco and all those things. And then they move to the university level. Now, the thing is that an athlete's career, right, an athlete who has potential can have his or her career ended right at the JHS level or at the SHS level, just because they do not have proper systems in place, like having a physiotherapist on the team. Once the team is an active sports team, you should have a physiotherapist on the team because they will help the coaches with the planning of training sessions and everything. It's very essential. So now we are saying that support the game. If we want to see sports in Ghana move to a certain level, we have to start right at the grassroots level. And we realize that the only weapons we hold now, first of all, is education. And that is why we are on this platform, to educate people so that they know the importance of physiotherapy in sports. Another thing that we feel can help us make a change is by advocating to administrators of football clubs, to political leaders, people who are at the end of policy making.
GFA president.
Exactly. People, yes, they're very, very instrumental people who can put in certain policies in place. We want to get to a point where no team goes into a competition without a physiotherapist, so that in the end, everyone is playing that collective role to make sure that Ghana or sports in Ghana move to a higher level, and then we can start rubbing shoulders with the likes of Europe and then Saudi Arabia, who is currently investing so much into sports. So basically, that's the idea behind our theme for this week. And then we are just calling on everyone to help us. Schools, grassroots clubs, as much as possible, try and invest into physiotherapists. And there's also this other issue of physiotherapists being unemployed. So for the past 5 years, and even in June 2024, the Allied Health Profession Council, which is the council that physios fall under, came out to say about 20,000 physiotherapists are unemployed, although they are licensed. Now, this is a clear area where we need physios. Yes, because people don't know the relevance, people are unemployed. You understand? So we feel like if these people start making moves to integrate physios into the sports setting, in the end, we are tackling two things. One, sports in Ghana is going to develop. Two, people who are actually capable will not be sitting home and not having jobs. So this is
won't come and do all these sports.
so this is at the very, very core of our conversation. And I think I would like to
next time we'll try and do more practice. I don't know if you can do that.
Yes.
Maybe you
yes.
the massaging and the deep ones. We'll try it here on Pro now. But it's a quick one.
Okay.
Can anyone run us through like the process? Let's say Levi Cole's injury. We don't know. He's come back after, let's say, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. What will he be doing throughout his recovery? Can anyone give you the steps? It's very important for the fans to know, because that guy is a very important player for Chelsea, and he's out for like, they want to know, okay, now after the surgery, what next? If anybody can.
Okay, so we all contribute, right?
No
so I want to start. So he has an ACL. So if it depends on the severity, we don't know the severity of Levi Cole's ACL right now. It depends. The doctors will have to assess. They have to do scanning, X-ray, and MRI to check whether it is stretched or the ligament has torn apart. You understand? So when they do that, so they'll bring it. That's where when you see that it's
when it's stretched or torn, still surgery.
No. If it's torn, when they'll do the surgery. So that's why every time when a player gets injured, they'll say we have to wait for the doctor's report. So after the doctor's report, I don't know if you have the doctor's report here.
I'll call them.
So after the doctor's report,
I have to call them.
It is the physiotherapist actually that says that this player will go out for 9 months or so. Okay. So Chelsea fans, we don't know until.
So Testegen was the one stressing you people, like the doctor.
Yeah. So after that was the doctor's report, he has to submit to La Liga. You understand? So if they do the doctor's report and he has to go out in 9 months, it means that it should tell you that there's a tear over there. So the doctors, now the physiotherapist, after his assessment, will have to go through the process of rehabilitation. Now, the process of rehabilitation, I'd like everyone to give notes on it. Then we conclude just sharp.
Okay. So like you said, it will depend on the stage of the Levi Cole's condition. So if it's just a partial tear or something like that, usually it's just going to the rehab will focus on building the strength of the muscles around the joints. But if it goes further into, let's say, a complete tear, then there's definitely going to be a bit of a surgical repair where they will harvest a tendon or a ligament from another site in the body to the knee. But usually when that happens, they have to give it a time for the ligaments to heal before they even start with any kind of real physio. So then you see that they will start, that joint is supposed to move freely, right? It's supposed to extend, it's supposed to flex. So then they will start with some gentle movements at the knee. Usually when they come from ACLs, I think you've seen them with crutches. These are all parts of protection techniques for the early grafts so that they don't prevent the graft from healing before it's time. So all those things are assessed by the physios, and then we put that into our management plan. Yes, so I think.
Okay.
Precious.
Okay, so just as they said, so they start with the, waiting for the injury to heal. So that's like the acute phase. That time we can't, if they just fix the ligament or repair the ligament, we can't move the leg at that stage. So after it healing, of course there'll be some, because the person hasn't moved their leg for a while, there'll be some maybe mobilization or their gait to be, so gait is how people walk.
Okay.
So maybe their gait wouldn't be normal. So maybe in the subacute state, depending on what they've assessed, they want to, normalize the person's gait, improve their strength, as they mentioned, the strength. If it's the knee, they're going to improve the strength in the hamstrings and the quadriceps, making sure that if the person is going to go back into playing, the person is going to be strong now, because this is not just a normal person walking, this is a footballer. So even though they are going to be, for the lack of a better word, vigorous, they're also going to know that the patient has to be okay before he actually goes into play. So they're going to focus on both training and strengthening at the same time.
Interesting.
Right. Then after the surgery is done and then the injury, the surgicals have been made to heal, then active rehabilitation starts, have they mentioned. And active rehabilitation will start. It will occur in phases, of course, but it would start slowly, then eventually you get more heavy as it moves on. From smaller exercises, and we'll be building up onto exercises that are related to playing football. Exactly. So I think after Rodri started partial team training, then before full team training.
Okay.
So that's how it occurs in stages and throughout.
Okay, Charlie, so let's end it here. I'll bring you guys back personally for the practicals and more details. So guys, the Ghana League players, don't go to the spa when you have joint injuries. Charlie, they're not going to help you. We beg you. So Charlie, guys, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. And guys, we beg you. See, education on Prrrr, very important. Share the video to your players outside. Share the video. Watch it and watch it again. I know ACL, hamstring, the importance, what causes it. We'll see you. My name is Ajo. We're out.